For some, it's already begun. Defuniak Springs, western portions of Walton County. Back in Okaloosa County, you got snow, sleet falling along the coast, and you got snow falling a little bit further inland. Where you're seeing that yellow, that's some bright banding. That's what's going on there. What that means is we're seeing melting happening as it's coming down, and that is showing up as heavier precipitation on the radar. It's not actually what's falling to the surface, but it's just the evaporative cooling that's taking place. And the same thing is happening all across our area. We climbed up to 50 in Apalachicola. We climbed up to 42 here in Panama City, but you can see our temperature is now down to 34, and it will continue to fall as over our heads right now it is precipitating. We have moisture falling right over the top of us at the current moment. It's just not making it to the surface, but it will do so here very, very shortly. You got about 30 minutes or so if you're in the coastal areas of Walton or Bay County and you're not seeing precip yet. It'll be happening here pretty quickly. That is the warm front that is sliding in off to our south, and it'll meet that precip that is already filling in from west to east. And we are just starting off with this event. Before I go any further, because I've gone full meteorologist mode here right off the bat, I will introduce what's going on. There's a winter storm. Hey, if you're not paying attention, we've got snow moving in, sleet moving in. We got all kinds of craziness as we go through the rest of today. So if you were impatient, and yes, I am a little kid too. I had to move my finger there because I didn't know where my frame of reference was, but I'm a little kid too. I'm excited about this. It's just for the most part, as long as we all respect the weather and stay off the roads, this should be a lot of fun for a lot of people. We are going to set a state record today. That is going to happen. So in that reference, it is historic. We have already seen over 3 inches of snow in northern parts of Santa Rosa and Escambia counties. The state record for Florida is 4 inches of snow. So we are definitely going to eclipse that in the state of Florida today. It will happen. Defuniak Springs, along I-10, really, I would say 2 to 4 inches of snow is easily achievable along I-10. I think that 3 to 6, or maybe even some locations picking up closer to 6 to 7 is possible along I-10. South of I-10, you're battling mix. So you're going to see sleet mix in. You're going to see the temperature issues as well as the warmer ground that's going to cause melting. But 2 to 3 inches for the areas south of I-10 and west of 231, that is very possible as well. We're just getting started with this event. We're going to see snow and sleet and freezing rain falling across the area all the way until about midnight. So we got about 8 to 9 hours of precip to come. So this is just on the onset here as we get started. So the shenanigans are setting in. If you are in Bay County, Calhoun County, Jackson County, Washington County, Holmes County, which snow is probably already falling in Holmes County, northern Walton County, snow is already falling there. Settle in. Grab the popcorn, do what you need to do, watch us. You can watch us. Obviously, we're going to be keeping you updated on digital, but we're also going to be keeping you updated on air. We got crews all around the Panhandle. We're going to be highlighting what's going on and showing you what's going on. So you don't need to be out and about in it, because we're going to put ourselves out and about in it. We're even trying to make sure that you can see what's happening here at the station as we go throughout the night tonight. So you're going to see everything. We have been live streaming the tower cam, and Spencer, if you want to pull that up, we can show you the tower cam. We're going to keep that up and rolling, right? I believe. Yes. Yeah. We're going to keep the tower cam up and rolling. So you'll be able to see what's going on here at the station. And assuming we don't ice over the tower cam, assuming that this view doesn't get blocked, I am going to be here. I'm probably going to get stuck here. Probably going to get stuck here. So I will maneuver it around and try to give you guys the best shot on the tower cam as things are happening as we go throughout the night. So again, you don't have to be out and about in it. We don't have anything falling over us at the current moment, but if just off to our west, you want to pull up that Inco camera, we certainly do have precip falling off to our west, and it's starting into Okaloosa County. So right here, if you look at the deck, you can see that, yeah, there's sleet and snow. If you look at the bottom left corner of the screen there, you can see precipitation starting to fall. It's on the lighter side. It's starting to wet that deck as well, and this is right on the beach, but that is probably a sleet, snow, freezing rain mixture that's already falling in Destin. So that is going to be moving pretty quickly off to the west and off to the east. And as the column saturates and we cool down, we will see our precipitation actually increase. So we'll see the heavier precip making it down to the surface once we cool all the way down. But you can see there is sleet and snow and freezing rain falling right now, currently in Destin. So thanks to Inco for that view. But yeah, look at the flakes. It's crazy. I can't believe we're talking snow on the beach. But here we are. You are on about a 12-second delay to me. So if you've got questions, something like that, just go ahead and put them in the comment section. We'll try to answer them. I'm not going to go town for town, location for location on what you're going to see. We got to have to keep it generalized, because if I did that, we'd be here all day. And the guy that is running this thing, he kind of wants to get home before roads start to get dicey. So, yeah, so we're not going to go town for town, but I will answer some of that. Freeport's reporting flurries already. So there you go. Starting to see that column saturate. And as it starts to saturate, we'll see that precipitation making it all the way down to the surface. And we'll see that heavier precip. That warm front band that you see sliding in on the coast, that's going to be interesting, because this could just be a blitz of sleet getting ready to come in, or a blitz of snow. But certainly going to get some flurries probably breaking through here pretty soon in Bay County. It's going to start as rain in Gulf and Franklin County. You can see that your temperatures are in the 50s. We're in the 50s. It's going to take a while. If you're in Gulf and Franklin County, you're not going to see your temperature drop below freezing until probably about 6 or 7 o'clock tonight. So with the exception being like the Bay County line. So once you get north of, say, Mexico Beach, you're going to be below freezing pretty quickly. So Weewahitchka, freezing rain, sleet, probably the main concern there. Bluntstown, it's probably snow, sleet mixture with some freezing rain in there too. You're going to get all kinds of different issues depending on where you are. Like I said, 231 for me really is going to be the dividing line between our mixtures. West of 231 and north of 231 and north of 20, you're probably all snow the entire event. Around 231, you're probably into the mix, and then off to the east of 231 and south of 20, so going through Calhoun County, that's where you're dealing with mixture there too. So that's what's going to be headed our way. As we go through and we look at the Futurecast here, so the Futurecast kind of missing on our saturation point, but you get the idea. We're about 2 o'clock, we're starting to see the precip fill in, so it should be heavy as we go through the next couple of hours here. We start to fill that in and get it down to the surface. That mixture, again, right there on 231, you can see the rain, sleet, snow line mixture with freezing rain or potentially just sleet and rain further into Gulf and Franklin counties, just depending on what your temperature is. Once your temperatures drop below freezing, then that rain liquid will start to freeze to surfaces, and at that point in time we call it freezing rain. Bay County, you'll probably see rain, sleet, freezing rain, and snow. North of the bays, it's probably mostly snow, and snow and sleet will be heavy at times and will accumulate even to our coastal areas. Mexico Beach, your snow is going to come later. We should all be snow from Bay County back across Walton County all the way down into Gulf County, Calhoun, Jackson. Everyone should be frozen precip by 7 or 8 o'clock tonight. Everyone in our area should be seeing some kind of frozen precip by 7 or 8 o'clock tonight. The exceptions will be the islands, which may see freezing rain, sleet. Eventually, we'll see some snow across even Cape San Blas, as well as St. George Island, Dog Island. We'll eventually see some snowflakes as well, but it's not going to be what we see further off to the north and west. But it's just ridiculous that that is what we've got going on. So this should, again, it's going to be at times heavy. And really, Bay County, your heaviest snowfall probably comes between about 6 and 9 p.m. Jackson County, it probably happens a couple of hours before that. Same thing with Washington, Holmes, and Walton. And then decreasing or increasing the further you go off to the east. So by 10 o'clock, the heaviest precip will be centered over Gulf and Franklin County. And yes, you can see the blue there out over St. George Island, out over Cape San Blas with frozen precip and mixture over Apalachicola. So even Franklin County is going to get on this. It's just going to take a while down there. However, by midnight, we may see some light lingering flurries or maybe some light freezing rain on the backside of this system across the area about midnight, and then we should start to clear things out beyond that. And by the time we all wake up tomorrow morning, about 5 a.m., it is going to be in the low 20s, and there will likely be snow and ice just about everywhere. Tomorrow, we only climb back up into the mid-30s before we start to see things going back below freezing. Another really cold night tomorrow night, and then we start a warming trend on Thursday. So I don't think we're going to see a ton of melt tomorrow across the area. Sunshine will help definitely with roadways, especially asphalt. Any black roadways will melt pretty quickly. But the roadways, they're going to have anything with shade covered. That's going to take a while to melt, and we're just not going to warm up enough to really take care of a lot of that tomorrow. Thursday, I think, with temperatures climbing back up into the 40s, the roads should be good from that point forward. And if you want some joy on warmer temperature, if that's what you're looking for here, next Monday, we're going to be back up into the 60s. So average is returning, thankfully. We will have some warmer weather coming back our way, but we definitely have some craziness on the way right now. So let's go back to the radar. We may pull up the tower cam here in a second because we're probably going to be seeing flurries headed our way here soon. If I can back it up to the radar. There we go. We got it up. And I'm looking for questions. Let's see if I can find any. You see anything, Spencer? It says Youngstown. Yeah, all snow in Youngstown probably. Yeah, we've got John Lee. Love you mentioning the relative humidity there. Smart man. So relative humidity plays a big role in our wet bulb temperature. So earlier we were 44 over 13. So that's 44 over about 28% relative humidity. That puts the surface temperature once we saturate at 32 degrees. So that is called the wet bulb temperature. So where it got warmer, that wet bulb temperature is above freezing. So it will take a while to drop below freezing. Where it has stayed relatively cool and where dry air is firmly in control, north of 231, temperature will drop below freezing like that. No problem once we start to saturate. So that's what we got. So good question there. I always like things that go that. So yeah, bridges and roads. So we're going to be covering that as we go through the rest of, sorry, I'm putting my hands on the table, making the camera bounce. We're going to be covering that all through the evening, and we'll be keeping you updated on those. Those are an as of condition basis. So won't be able to tell you if the roads are going to close or if bridges are going to close until they close. And I can't tell you when they'll open until they open because we're not in control of that. I don't make that call. That is a condition base only. So they have put salt brine down on most of the bridges in the area that I have driven over. So I think that the bridges will be able to take some snow and ice. Now, it's not going to be able to handle what's going to fall, but we will be able to take some, and they are going to be working on removing that snow and ice as soon as possible off of those bridges so that they can get them open. So, no, I don't have any clue as to when they will close and when they will open back because those are as condition basis. But if I were you and you had to be out and about and you need to cross a bridge, I would say make sure that you're home probably in the next couple of hours, if that's going to be the case, because we're going to start to see things really go downhill here over the next couple of hours. If you can't be across a bridge until, say, 8 or 9 o'clock tonight, good luck. You may not be going across that bridge. That would be what I would have to guess. And certainly if you're trying to go across later than that tonight, probably not going to happen. Not until they can get a snowplow there or something to remove whatever is on the bridges, because we'll be likely seeing those issues into the morning hours. And then, tomorrow we'll see how things handle with melt and that kind of stuff. And that's also going to depend on how much falls. So we have 6 to 8 inches widespread. There will be very little melt tomorrow, and we'll have issues into Thursday. If we only have an inch of snow widespread, then we'll melt most of it away by tomorrow. So it really just depends on, how much of the forecast verifies here and how much we actually do see fall. Because at this point in time, we're not forecasting anymore. The winter weather is here. It's coming. It's happening. It's happening now. Now it's nowcasting. It's talking about what's happening where and what we're seeing. So you viewers at home, we would love to know what's going on at your place and your location. Send us all and any videos and pictures that you want to do so safely when you're stepping out the door, and send it to us, and we'll make sure that we can share that back so that everybody can see exactly what's happening at your location, because I'm interested too. If you get a foot of snow, I want to see it. If you don't know how to measure snow, this is the way to do it. Go across your yard, 3 different locations, take just a grade school ruler, stick it down into the snow, and measure. Take the average of the 3 locations, and that is your snowfall recorded at said location. So if you want to know how to measure snow, that's how you do it. If you're measuring ice accretion, there's a difference. You take the basically stick or whatever is accreted with ice, and you measure both sides of the ice. because ice is going to coat around the whole structure. You take whatever you measure and you divide it in half. And that's what you have for ice accretion. So if you measure a half an inch of ice, you actually have a quarter of an inch of ice because it's a quarter of an inch on both sides. That's how ice accretion is measured. Snow is measured over 3 places, the average of 3 places. Try to stick it into, try to do an elevated place, try to do something on your yard, and try to do something with melting. That's going to give you the best estimation of where you actually have what you actually see, as opposed to just what's fallen on your elevated grass, which is probably going to be a much higher total than what ends up on your, say, porch or grill, or certainly what ends up on your car or the road. That's all going to melt as the surface does that. Let's go to the tower cam. Let's see if there's anything falling, Spencer, because it looks like the precip is starting to go on its way here. I don't know, but I'm having a hard time seeing. I don't know if I see anything there yet. I think, yeah, I mean, it's possible. We definitely have precip over the top of us. So we're going to wrap up this video if there's no questions. I don't think we have any power outages yet. I see questions about the roads and bridges and that kind of stuff and location.
Yeah, I think one good question, and you might have already kind of gone over this, but somebody asked, how soon after you start to see the precipitation will the roads be dangerous? Is it safe to say if it's snowing, the roads are dangerous?
That's a good question. So I would say probably an hour or two. We will likely see the roads get wet to start. So as the precip falls, it'll hit the road, it'll contact it. Our road surfaces are all above freezing. So it'll just melt. It'll just be wet. It'll be like rain. As long as the surface is wet, then you can drive on that surface just fine. The problem is our temperatures are going to drop below freezing. They're going to be down into the 20s, and we're going to have precip falling on top of that. In about an hour of heavy precip, we'll see slush start to develop, and that will start to break away from the surface contact, and that's when we start to see accumulation on the road. That's when things start to get slick, because now you have something that is between your tire and the asphalt. And if once we start to compact that down and it freezes solid, now you have a sheet of ice and you have no traction whatsoever. So it's all about traction between the tire and whatever it's gripping. If it's fluffy snow, nobody's driven over the top of it, you may actually have a little bit of traction on that. If it is ice and compacted down, you will have no traction. So whenever you press the accelerator, your tire's just going to spin. If you let off the accelerator and you just drift, you probably actually can go straight. If you press the brake, you'll slide, those kinds of things whenever you do hit ice. So if you have to be out and about and driving on snow, the best way to go is once you start to feel that traction is gone, do not hit the brake and do not hit the accelerator. If you press either one of those, you are going to make your traction worse. Roll and try to steer safely away from anything else so that you can maintain some kind of control. So once you start to feel a slide, you just want to start to roll. That's how you want to handle it. And you certainly want to use your best judgment on speeds. Quadruple your distances between you and the vehicle in front of you, because that is where you're going to start to run into issues. Is that it's not going to be cars going forward at the same rate of speeds. It's going to be cars going at different speeds and then one trying to slow down on ice. And that's when you hit, is that you're not going to slow down on ice. And here we are. We've saturated the column, and now we're seeing big old fluffy flakes flying in Destin. I got quite a chuckle out of that on the newscast last night. If anybody was watching, I think Tom and Sam both immediately looked at me and they were like, fluffy flakes flying, really? And I was like, yep, fluffy flakes flying. Here we are. Fluffy flakes are flying. So, haha, nailed it as we go. But yeah, we've got the snow and sleet on the way and starting, and it should be starting here pretty soon over Bay County. Actually, I think I just saw a snowflake there I'm looking at the trees. I think I did. We may be starting to see our precip here in Bay County too. It'll probably be a rain, sleet, snow mix, but eventually we will saturate that column and it will flip between sleet and snow. But yes, I did. We definitely got some precip starting to come down. So here he goes. Here we go, people. Here we are. Gonna make some history today, but it'll be fun. That's a good question. Could we see thunder snow? Yesterday I would have said no, but today I'm gonna say yes. Not because I'm in a good mood and I'm excited about the snow, but because it did thunder snow in Louisiana this morning. So it is very possible that we get just enough lift with the front basically draped across our area that we may see convection, especially between right at the onset of precip here. This is probably going to be the best chance for that, as well as potentially when we see that second band of heavy snow set up. If we see that set up, that'll be that jet streak lining up with our trough. That'll be probably around the 8-9 o'clock hour. Those are probably your two chances at seeing thunder today or hearing thunder today. And fun fact, because I got to wrap this up because Spencer wants to go home. He wants to get home before the roads get dicey. But fun fact, when it thunders and it's snowing, because snow absorbs sound, it will be a softer roll. So if you do happen to hear thunder, it will be a low rumble. It won't be a loud crack. That you won't hear anything like that. Not unless we have sleet falling and then you get a different kind of acoustic. But with snow, it will actually absorb the sound in the cloud. So the thunder coming to you will not be as loud. It'll be like a low kind of crash and rumble. It's pretty cool. And if you have snowpack tonight, I don't care what time the snow ends, and I don't care if you're just stepping out into your yard. Step outside and enjoy the silence. Step outside and enjoy the silence, because snow does absorb sound on the ground, on the trees, and everything else. It will be the quietest you've ever heard your home. So step outside and enjoy the silence. If you get a chance to do that tonight, or especially tomorrow morning, step outside. It's the most magical thing about snow, is just the acoustics of snow. So enjoy that. That's where we'll wrap it up, but keep it right here. Again, we're going to keep you updated on digital every way we know how. We're also going to keep you updated on air as well. The newscast, we're going to be filling time, throwing it around throughout the Panhandle, so you can keep up with updates that way. mypanhandle.com. Our social medias across the board will obviously have information there too. And again, the newscast, the 5, 6, and 10 o'clock newscast, tune in there. We're going to be doing full snow coverage. We're having a snow day here too. So it's a fun day for everyone. Let's respect this. Let's stay off the roads. We stay out of trouble, and we will get to enjoy history tonight together. So let's do it.